Hello everyone and welcome back to the Elder Scrolls Online Academy. Today I've got a lot to talk about related to questing, dungeons, and endgame content. Let's get started. In most modern RPGs, and especially MMOs, questing usually involves locating a town or small camp where lots of NPCs will stand around and offer different quests to you. They'll give you tasks to go somewhere to do something not far from that location and come back when you're done for a reward of experience and loot. Once you've run out of quests to do, then you move along to the next quest hub and repeat until you reach level cap. Questing and story progression in the Elder Scrolls Online will try to avoid this with what ZeniMax is calling a distraction-based experience, which is actually the traditional Elder Scrolls questing way. So you may find a few quests from the most recent nearby town, but many other NPCs and quests can only be found outside of towns, for example on roads or near cave entrances to dungeons, offering you more quests and locations to travel to. So exploration is key to getting the best experience. The more you explore, the more quests and things you'll find to do in that region. To aid players in finding things, many NPCs when talked to can direct players to the same quest, so players can easily find nearby quests, which again is much like the previous Elder Scrolls games. For side quests, not main story quests usually, multiple NPCs will talk about a situation and you can pick up a quest from them regarding that situation. Depending on a player's progress through the game's story arcs, quest areas may be phased, which separates players in different instances of an area to experience a modified version of towns, NPCs, or dungeons. So for example, if you recently saved a town from a werewolf invasion, you'll see the town's NPCs will react differently to you than players that didn't participate yet in that event. Areas and landmarks in the environment also may change after a quest battle, and your phase will show these changes. Previous games have had phasing before, but sometimes this has resulted in segregating players and friends until the person behind the quest line catches up to their friend that has entered the new phase. In the Elder Scrolls Online, this won't be a problem. ZeniMax is allowing any player who has previously completed a story arc to repeat the content by temporarily entering the same phase their friends are in. Quest rewards and public boss drops are individual specific, meaning that no matter how many other people are in your group, you will get a personalized loot reward just for you. This is to encourage grouping without penalizing players by forcing them to distribute shared loot. Additionally, many quest objectives are automatically shared with nearby players in the world to encourage cooperation, even if the players don't actually form a group. There are also no kill lockouts. If you assist a player in slaying monsters, both of you will receive experience and quest credit even if you are not grouped. Within your chosen alliance and its territory, it will take an estimated 150 hours to reach level cap with that content. Once you've reached level 50, then you can explore and take quests from NPCs in other alliances in their territories. So altogether, we're looking at potentially around 500 hours of content available at launch. Alright, it's time to talk about dungeons. The Elder Scrolls Online will feature 16 4-man instanced dungeons at launch in addition to many public dungeons scattered across Tamriel. Instanced dungeons, of course, will deliver a more story-driven experience to players. Public dungeons are not separated from the regular world via instancing, so anyone can walk into these dungeons at any time, which is meant to help create spontaneous cooperation between players to work together and complete a task. Most small public dungeons are balanced to be a significant challenge for a solo player, but be comfortably clearable for a small group as well. When you play the game during levels 1 through 49, you will visit different dungeons and complete different quests there. After you reach level 50, you can return to those dungeons you previously completed and find heroic modes of each of the game's instanced dungeons. These heroic dungeons are not simply more difficult versions of the same content, they extend the story of normal mode dungeons by adding new paths, quests, and monsters to defeat. This adds a lot of extra value to previously completed dungeons and new, more challenging encounters for max level players. In addition to all these small dungeons scattered around Tamriel, The Elder Scrolls Online will also have large raids that pit multiple groups of players against powerful and iconic bosses. Endgame PvE content will periodically be released in the form of adventure zones, which are dangerous regions around Tamriel with their own unique challenges. These adventure zones will feature content ranging from solo play, small group encounters, and raid-size content. That, my friends, is the basics of questing, dungeons, and endgame content for The Elder Scrolls Online. One of the most interesting features I hope we get more information about soon are these adventure zones. They sound like a lot of fun. But what about you guys and gals? What's the most interesting part of questing, dungeons, and endgame content for you? Let me know in the comments section of this video. Thanks for attending the Elder Scrolls Online Academy. I put a lot of time and effort into these videos, so I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and don't forget to click the like button to show your support for these videos. There's a lot more coming up soon, so make sure that you are subscribed and don't miss the next video. My name is Kinetic, and I'll see you next time.